Hi, I'm Patty Elaine, and welcome back to 78 Reflections. Today I'm going to introduce a brand new project that I'm so excited about and can't wait to share with you, and that is the Decan Stroll, a light version of the Decan Walk. For anyone who's not familiar, I'm going to do my best to provide a really brief explanation of the Decan Walk and also how it differs from what I want to undertake, which is the Decan Stroll. Keep in mind, I'm just learning about this myself, but I'll also link some videos in the description box from some tarot creators who have much more in-depth explanations from their unique perspectives. To understand the Decan Walk, we must first have a basic understanding of the Decan Wheel, and that is built from the 12 zodiac signs that we all know and love. Each of these signs, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, they're divided into 3 segments. So then we have a total of 36 segments. The 12 astrological signs times 3, we end up with 36. And these are called decans. Here we see the 12 zodiac signs, each with 3 segments. That gives us our 36 decans. And there is a whole lot more going on in this wheel than I am equipped to get into in this video. But I do want to point out one thing, and that is that each of these decans is associated with a tarot card. And so that tarot association creates this connection between the tarot and astrology. And my thoughts is that I can use that link to add additional depth to my tarot interpretations, my tarot understanding, by incorporating the unique astrological influences of each of these decans. I think it's a fascinating way to blend astrology and tarot and get to that richer interpretation that I am longing for. The decans are referred simply as Aries 1, Aries 2, Aries 3, Pisces 1, Pisces 2, Pisces 3, and so on. The Decan Walk is, in my view, from what I've been able to discover, a very in-depth, multifaceted exploration of each of these decans, starting with Aries 1 on March 21st and carrying forward. So basically, if you see where I've put the Aries arrow, that's pointing to where Aries 1 starts, Aries 1, 2, and 3. You can see the dates on the screen, March 21st, March 31st, and then April 10th. From there, we move to Taurus, Taurus 1, Taurus 2, Taurus 3, and so on, Gemini, and so forth to Cancer, until we make our way around the entire wheel. Now, I was contemplating doing a tarot mentorship program that was going to be over the next year that recently got postponed. And so I was feeling a bit at loose ends, wanting to do a project, but not really knowing what to do and not wanting to get in too deep or make some project that was going to be overly complicated, complex, and overwhelming, which is kind of my MO. And so when I came across the Decan Walk, I thought that really works well with my goals to learn more about the tarot, but also dip my toes into astrology and also aligning with the seasons. So I thought this was a really good alternative or solution to the gap that was created when the mentorship wasn't going to happen. But I wanted to make sure that I was keeping this in check with my goals for 2025, which are to embrace the mentality of the fool. So I asked myself, what would the fool do? And that was when I coined the term Decan Stroll, just to both, mentally and the way I am processing this, create this gentler approach to the Decan Walk, one that allows for flexibility, aligns with keeping things simple, keeping things joyful. Astrology really has intrigued me for quite some time now, but up until this project, I didn't have any plan or I hadn't taken any steps to explore it. And while my interest in the Decan Stroll is primarily rooted in deepening my understanding of the tarot, I also see it as this beautiful opportunity to do that while also easing into astrology. For me, the Decan Stroll is about aligning with the astrological signs, engaging with the energies of the decans, and using tarot as a tool for deeper self-reflection. It's a way to weave cosmic and symbolic into my daily life, blending astrology and tarot in a way that feels intuitive and meaningful, but not too difficult. That's my why for the Decan Stroll. So what are the resources that I'm going to use? Well, first of all, I have some books. I know this is shocking to anyone who goes into projects. It's a great excuse to purchase some books. So the very first book that I purchased is, I think, an important staple, and it's The 36 Secrets by Susan Chang. And each chapter is less than 10 pages. Most of them are 6 or 7. And so there's a chapter for each of the decans. So that's some reading that I could do. In addition to that, in fact, the second thing that you see on this screen, I don't have a hard copy of it because it is something that I purchased from Marlena Teresa, and it's this Decan Walk spread book. And finding this spread book was the reason why I decided to go ahead with the project, because before I found the spread book, I was having a really hard time wrapping my mind around how I could make this simple and joyful and not too difficult. But she created these spreads, one for each of the decans, and has compiled them into a book that you can purchase for a very affordable price. If I'm remembering correctly, it was $5 US. So almost free, and such an amazing resource to have as part of my Decan Stroll. In addition to that, I have purchased the book Healing Burnout with Astrology and Tarot, and that's a Jackie Hope book. And it takes you through the decans, a journey through the decans of the zodiac. And that's also not very many pages for each decan. So I thought that could be an interesting read as well. And then to make it fun, I purchased Tarot for Creativity. And that was inspired by Justine at State of Grace. And I'm going to talk about the Tarot Tube resources in a minute. But I really want to make this fun. And so I thought I could be inspired for a creativity project using that book based on the Minor Arcana card that is coming up for the Decan. And then I would be remiss not to mention my Ride or Die resource for the tarot, which is Lisa's book, Unlocking the Tarot. I use it on the daily. It is so valuable to me. So it will be also a companion that I use along this stroll. Tarot tubers. In the land of Tarot Tube, first and foremost, Marlena Teresa. She is a poet and a fabulous tarot reader. She's a scholar, she's a student of life, and has a wealth of knowledge that she so generously shares in Tarot Tube land. She also created that book for the Decan Walk spreads. And so she has a playlist with her 2023 Decan Walk, which is just a wealth of information. So highly recommend that. I will link her channel in the description box. In addition to Marlena, Venus Loves You, Jennifer created a 25-minute YouTube video that is incredible. I just found it to be very informative, insightful on the decans. She provides a thoughtful review of T. Susan Chan's book, The 36 Secrets, packed with information. I had to watch it multiple times to try to absorb it. Highly recommend her channel and particularly that video. State of Grace. Justine's channel was a serendipitous find for me a couple of days ago. She's launching her own Decan Walk in 2025, and she presented the approach to the Decan Walk in a way that felt really manageable for me. And so she was really the one that inspired me to jump in and go ahead after I had Marlena's resources and then the way that she Justine suggested approaching it, especially because I felt a bit, I guess, concerned about my lack of knowledge of astrology. And Justine just puts it out there that she has very little knowledge as well. And so that made me feel like, okay, she's doing it and I can do it as well. So I will link all of these channels in the description box to this video. Let's talk about decks. I've settled on 3 decks for this journey: the Star Tarot, the Tarot of the Spirit, and the Zodiac Tarot. I purchased all 3 of these decks because there was aspects of the tarot that they were going to emphasize that I don't have in any other of my other decks. But once again, without a clear plan of how to dig into these decks, I probably wouldn't get to it. This project provides the perfect opportunity to dig into each one. And I will be posting a first impression or overview of each of these decks. But in short, the Star Tarot is a visionary and intuitive deck that emphasizes spiritual growth, inner wisdom, and cosmic connection. The illustrations in these cards are very much nature-based, and they're beautiful, and the guidebook is phenomenal. It is substantial. So it's going to be another resource for me on this journey. Speaking of very hefty guidebooks, the Tarot of the Spirit is a deeply symbolic deck that blends tarot, elemental energies, and the esoteric teachings for self-discovery. It is the guidebook I had to purchase separate from the deck, but all of these are mass market, readily available. And once again, I will post separate videos on each of them so you can get a closer look at them if you're interested. Last but not least, the Zodiac Tarot. Kind of my bestie of the 3, the one I know the best. It's my travel tarot deck. It's in a tin. It's a little one. And it is designed to bridge astrology and tarot. It is a very natural fit for exploring the decans and the planetary influences. So I have these 3 decks that I will be using. So now that you know about my resources, what do I intend to do? Well, the Decan Stroll menu isn't a rigid to-do list. It's more of a mix and match selection of things that I can do, depending on what feels right. My goal is to keep this light, flexible, and fun, not overwhelming and not structured. I'll be exploring tarot and astrology in a way that feels natural to me. Using spreads, tarot spreads is probably one of the key anchoring elements of this whole thing, which is something I do every day anyway. But also adding in some books and some resources and creative activities as inspiration along the way. Some decans I might do more, others less. Kind of depends what's going on for me and my life otherwise and with work. But it's all about what feels aligned for me in the moment. Most importantly, I want to enjoy it and I want to have fun learning and exploring all of this to a greater degree. I want to talk to you about an alchemy spread. So if you've watched my other videos, if you've watched Coffee and Cards, you know I'm obsessed with the Mindful Tarot's wobble spread. And that was created by Esther from the Mindful Tarot, and it was inspired by the Chariot card. Last night, I started thinking about what could I do that would be kind of, springboarding off that, because I don't want to do too many cards in the spread for my tarot tube shares. So I came up with the alchemy spread, and it was inspired for me by the Temperance card. And the purpose of it is to explore the blending of energies within each of the decans. And so once again, using a 3-card spread. Every decan is represented by a minor arcana card, and that carries the influences from both the major arcana card of its zodiac sign and the major arcana card of its ruling planet. This creates a fusion of energies, making Temperance the card of balance and integration, I think a perfect card for this spread. So here's how I envision it working, and I might have to tweak it along the way, but this is my starting point. So on one side, we have a card that represents one aspect of the fusion, influenced by the major arcana card of the ruling planet. This card highlights the planetary energies that are shaping the decan. On the other side, so you can see the cups, isn't that creative? I have the other fusion, which is influenced by the major arcana card of the zodiac sign. This card shows the qualities that bring the sign into mix. And then the center card is the Decan card. And that's the fusion of these two major arcana cards, revealing how these two energies can be harmonized. It provides insight into blending the influences and integrating them into my life. The Temperance card is known for seeking wisdom, meaning, and balance, perfectly mirroring the spread's purpose. In the reading, the angel on the Temperance card serves as the guide, helping to blend the influences in a way that fosters self-growth and a deeper understanding of these planetary influences, as well as the zodiac sign. So I chose the name Alchemy because alchemy is all about the fusion, the blending, the transformation, taking separate elements, which is exactly what we're doing here, and uniting them into something even greater. Exploring how the energies of the decan interact and how I can integrate them into my personal journey. I think this spread is going to be a great way to deepen both the tarot and the astrological insights, helping to reveal the unique qualities of each decan while offering guidance on balance and harmony in our own lives, and also allowing me to do something that I'm already doing and really comfortable and happy doing on a daily basis. So what can you expect from me? Well, guess what? Today, checking off an introduction to the Decan Stroll. So I've been working on this project through spring equinox and just recording my introduction video today, which is March 23rd. So it's going to come on my channel tomorrow. And then after that, every day I'm going to release a short video. And so the first one will be the Star Tarot, first impressions and a deck interview, then Tarot of the Spirit, once again, first impressions and a deck interview. And then the Zodiac Tarot, it's not first impressions because we're already besties, but I'll give an overview of the deck and also do a kind of a let's get reacquainted deck interview. And then after that, I'll share the Aries one, the Alchemy Tarot spread, and then I'll be kind of caught up to Aries 2 because that is March 31st. And so I'll do a second Tarot Alchemy spread. From there, that's when we get into the regular cadence of doing one spread every 10 days that is going to be unique to each decan. So hopefully you are excited about joining me on this project. I'm really looking forward to sharing this journey with you. And I hope that you, whether you're doing a Decan Walk or a Decan Stroll, or if you're just have some mild curiosity in the process, I hope you'll tune into my videos. And if you have something to share with me, or if you would like to connect, please leave a comment on the video. Also, I would really appreciate it. Like the video if you do. Subscribe if you're interested in hearing more from me. If you're not interested in the Decan Walk or the Decan Stroll, I also have coffee and cards regularly on my channel. So thanks for listening. I appreciate you being here, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until then.